Welcome to Relax and Chat, episode 61. Our guest today is N.B. Clarke, author of the soon-to-be-released novella, Those Who Breathe the Water. Hi, how are you today?
I'm doing well. I hope you are.
Oh, yeah, pretty good. Always busy, but doing well. Well, I wanted to ask you because I did a little research on every guest. I found a few little things I thought I'd ask you about. The first one that came to mind is that I read that you enjoy traveling to new states. So, how many of our 50 states have you visited? And so far, what are your top three that you like the most?
22, so almost made it to the halfway mark.
Cool.
And I don't know, it's hard to pick. I haven't yet been to a state I really didn't like, so I guess if I had to, I'd say Wyoming and Texas probably tie
Oh,
for first place. They got beautiful national parks out there, so.
yeah. I found that very fascinating. 22 states. Does that include states you just drove through, or you've actually visited 22 states?
No, I always try to like at least stay there for a night. That's kind of the criteria, random
Yeah,
criteria. So
neat. So I read that you are particularly interested in writing dark fiction and exploring themes of morality. May I ask why?
well that is a good question. I guess I can't give you a good answer why, the darker side or horror, scary things. I guess ever since I was young, I just always found that very interesting. And yeah, I guess the older I got, more just kind of figuring out, why do people do what they do, even, if it's not very good. I know, just always something that's kind of fascinated me because, it's like when you're young, you pretty much get told morality tales and what's good, what's bad. The older you get, you realize, well, it's like nobody's actually all good. So yeah, so it's just I've found that's especially in writing, it's a great way just to kind of follow a certain character and kind of figure out what they all stand for and just kind of see where it takes them.
Cool. Your first book, Another Kind of Devil. Could you tell us a little bit about it and what inspired that story?
Well, it's based the story follows a devil who's getting tired of his job in hell, throwing people in a pit, and he becomes fascinated with human beings, and not spoiling anything, one thing leads to another, and suddenly he's on Earth as a human and trying to figure out how to stay out of hell.
Uh,
And it's trying to blend some humor. I guess humor is always subjective, so I don't know how funny people found it, but yeah, it's more or less his journey kind of to figure out what actually is good and discovering that it's like, no, it's not easy, and people you may have thought are good are definitely not. Um, so yeah, as far as what inspired it, it took me forever to write it. Oh gosh, I mean, I wrote so many drafts and rewrites. What it started off as was nothing what it ended up as. So it's, which I'm sure you know how that goes.
oh yeah, yeah. But the creative process is so much fun. Even when
Yeah. Oh,
you
it
have a
is.
challenge,
Yes.
sometimes I think the challenges make it more fun, you know. And
Right.
one thing I love about what you just said, because I'll be honest, I haven't read the book yet, but I love what you just said because it's pretty often that you hear about or encounter a story where an angel comes to Earth. We've seen it in movies and in series, the Michael Landon series, and a bunch of others. It ain't so often that you hear an entity from hell coming up to Earth. I think the only one I can actually think of offhand is I think they had a series called Lucifer, where, the devil himself came up and hung out, and kind of jived with everybody. And at the time, I couldn't watch that because I was writing my first novel and it involved a devil-like character, and I didn't want ideas from that series getting into my book. I wanted my
I
book to be
see.
very original. So I've never seen the series, but I've heard about it, and and it's a shame that first novel's 125 scenes in a bag shook up because it was my first effort, and I listened to way too many people. And I'm working
Oh,
on a second novel, and I write lots of short stories. And I'll come back to that first one though, because it was a good story idea. But yeah, another kind of devil. I really love the idea that it's an entity from hell coming up here and joining us humans and apparently wanting to stay, but just like us, not knowing how we're going to stay, right? Because I kind of say
Not
it.
actually knowing what you're doing is kind of well, sort of the theme of the first half of the story. So,
Uh-huh. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to read it now. It sounds really cool. I got
well,
to
thanks.
be
Yeah.
honest, before I met you, I didn't know it existed, but of course I went looking around, and I think it's been pretty well received. Is that correct? That since it was released back in what, 23, 22?
That's right. Yeah, 2023.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, no, I'm very grateful for people who have read it. Some have left very nice reviews, so that's always appreciated. It's
Yeah,
hard to get the reviews when you're an author nobody's heard of. So,
yeah. It's hard
uh,
to get reviews for everybody. You know,
yes, yeah.
I mean, you've got the super guys, everybody mentions Stephen King, and I don't mean to say that in a bad way. King's a good writer. He's a great writer. And
Mhm.
but it's really funny. He's like the I guess you would call the champion of horror stories. But if you look at his whole collection, little of it is horror. A lot of it's detective dramas and fantasies and other things. If you really look at his library, it ain't all horror. You know.
Right. That is a good point.
Yeah. So anyway, before I run us out of time with my silly chatter, I thought I would ask you, those who breathe the water, what inspired this gripping story? And no spoilers, can you tell us a little bit about it?
Sure. I guess the first question, what inspired it? It was actually a dream I had where, yeah, but sometimes I'll do that. I'll write, if I had a very memorable dream, I'll write it down and then, like a week later, if I still am thinking about it, sometimes I try to write a short story about it. So I did for this one. I don't think much of the dream existed in the final draft, but yeah, nope. I had this strange dream of falling into water and discovering people under the water,
Uh-huh.
whatever that was about.
Oh,
But
wow.
yeah, but the story itself, the finished product, is about a girl who goes back to a lake where, as a child, she had witnessed something monstrous and had very traumatic event happen. And so it's more or less her trying to face her fears and realize that the thing she had been trying to run away for, it's still there. Um, but I don't I should cut myself off. I don't want to give away too much. So
Yeah, we don't want those spoilers. What's the
no.
release date for that book?
July 21st.
Yeah. All right,
So
time for a full disclosure. I knew the release date. Full disclosure, transparency, whatever you want to call it. I am both the editor of that story and the publisher of that story, RDG Books Press. So I'm very familiar with the story, but I asked the questions I asked for the audience's sake so that you guys can learn about this incredible story and this amazing writer. Uh, Everybody starts somewhere. Nobody heard of Stephen King the year before he published his first book, and every writer has the potential to become a superstar writer. And ladies and gentlemen, I think you're meeting one. All right. Well, just to keep us on track as far as time, I'm going to ask. I like to do a little segment of the show where I hush. Believe it or not, I'm capable of doing that. And while I'm hushed, you can address the audience directly and you can share anything you like. I don't censor. You can give writing advice or anything you want to do, anything you want to talk about.
Um, well, I guess I'm certainly no expert. Still trying to learn my way through writing. I guess I would just tell people who are considering writing or have an idea, keep going, and that writing, at least from my perspective, can be a very uncomfortable process. You feel like you're spinning your wheels and the rewrites and rewrites, and it feels like that idea that seemed really interesting, it just never quite showing up on the page. I think just constantly writing, that's just part of what it is. And if you embrace the fact it's not easy, you can do something you're really proud of. But again, I don't want to come across like I'm some expert. So
Yeah.
that's just what's worked for me. And, it's still a process, and still, you learn new things as you go through. And the fact, the editing process, I feel like no one really mentions, yeah, I guess when you pick up a book, you're not like, wow, this book was so well edited. You're just like, oh, this is really good writing. And I feel like, myself included, when you're starting off, you're like, oh, I'm just no good. It's not working. You realize, no, you just have to keep editing, have to keep pushing through.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, it's important to get additional eyes on your work. Nobody can really fully be successful on their own with no help. You know,
mhm.
we write our stories, but it's very helpful to have beta readers. And I'm a strong believer in having a good, strong editor. Uh, Editors know the rules and the outlines and the basics, but editors have a little creativity too. And when you collaborate and really work well together, your strengths and your editor's strengths come together. And in my opinion, that's how you make any story the very best that it can be. And I feel like we definitely achieved that with Those Who Breathe the Water. It's a fantastic story. Your creativity is off the chart. I love it. And it was so much fun to work on that project. Just absolute blast. I love the characters. The setting is cool. The pacing is excellent. I mean, you really rock. You are one great writer. So believe in yourself. And I would say that to the audience. They probably have heard me say it 1,000 times. You're going to be a writer, you're going to work hard, so you've got to believe in yourself. There's plenty of people going to put you down and tell you you can't do it, go do something else. Don't listen to them. If you got it in your heart that you want to be a writer, write. And just like she said, don't stop. Keep cracking out them stories, doing the best you can. It may be your debut, or it may be your seventh book, or your 23rd short story. But one of those is going to hit and put you on the map and on your way to becoming one of the stars of the writing world. It's entirely, everything is possible, and that certainly is too. All right. Uh, Boy, we're zipping along very nicely. Got a couple of minutes left. I think if you don't mind, I'll ask. Um, I share these shows on all the way across my platform on most of the major websites. Now on YouTube, there's a description box down in the bottom part of it, and there I'll have all related links to everything we talk about, to your books and any other information you share. But on some of the sites that I'm on, you can't see that description box at all. So I ask you if you would verbally share your website, any social media you have, where fans can, when they read, especially when they read that story, they're going to want to get on there and say, hey, I loved your story. Wow. And they may want to chat with you about it. And so if you would, please share any website, social media, whatever you have.
I'll be honest, I feel like I live under a rock for a little while, but I think thanks to your suggestion, I am on Twitter, or I guess X now.
Mhm.
And I also do have an author page on Goodreads, where you can find me and the books I've written.
All right. Yeah, everybody knows I love Twitter. I love it because I can get in the DM messages and have really fascinating conversations with other authors.
Mm.
Being an author myself is just something I love to learn, and I'm very fascinated with all the neat ideas and advice. Just everything that I've had. I've had such a wonderful experience on Twitter talking with other writers. And I highly recommend spending a little time on there and getting to know some of the writers. And you can also really make some great connections. Publishing houses, editors, YouTube, they call them YouTubers who can help you promote your stuff with YouTube videos. They all hang out there. There's like a whole community, especially in the indie world, a whole bunch of people that are very skilled. They know what they're doing. There's always a few over here that don't, but I know a lot of nice people on Twitter, and I highly recommend get familiar with it. I think you'll enjoy it very much. Even if you're an introvert and you don't really like to interact with other people, it's weird when you're a writer and you get a chance to speak with another writer. If you're even remotely on the same page, let's just say you both love horror, you'll be surprised how smoothly and easily conversations roll along. It's just marvelous. I can name a whole bunch. I'll name Janelle Shiki. She's on Twitter. Molly McCobb. There's two people you can start with. Say hello to them. They're some of the friendliest people that you'll ever meet, and some of the absolute best writers you ever meet. Janelle has one, two, three, Is it four? Yeah. I think she has four books out. And I don't even think Stephen King did this. All four of her books, from the very first one to the newest one, have been big hits and very successful, and they're fantastic. I've got all four on my bookshelf. She rocks. Fantastic writer and a very nice person. Molly McCobb wrote Dark Bloom. It's a dystopian story, and like zombies and such. But like the zombies are like a little background noise. They're cool. Okay, I'm not a real big fan. Even the Night of the Living Dead or whatever. Okay, they're zombies. I'm not real excited with zombies, but I'm super excited. Dark Bloom is one of the best stories I've ever read because it is so powerfully emotional. I mean, she must have just took her heart and crammed it into the word processor. Fantastic story. I really recommend you give that a read if you're interested in those types of stories, dark stuff and morality and that. Oh boy, pick up a copy of Dark Bloom. Oh, Molly McCobb is an incredible writer. You would love it. You really would. All right, well, let's see. What else can I plug? Oh, be looking for video coming out. RDG Books Full Service Editing. We're going to have a very cool little announcement coming up as soon as I can put it together. And so keep your eyes open for that. Is there anything you'd like to plug? You want to tell people about anything in particular?
I guess we have pre-orders for Those Who Breathe the Water on Amazon right now, for the ebook. And yeah, just hopefully check it out, and I guess, leave an honest review and all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I really believe just a few people, that's all it'll take, five or less. Read that book and give honest reviews. Maybe you do a couple of YouTube shows, get the word out there a little bit. Because I've been saying for a long time, if they don't know you exist and they don't know your book exists, where's your writing career? You know? Yeah. Even if you're super duper shy, you got to put yourself out there a little bit, and you got to do everything you can to promote your book. Both yourself and your book. It's really important. Um, a lot of writers, most writers, including myself at the beginning, you think, hey, I'll write a story and put it on Amazon and I'll get rich. No, it doesn't happen that way.
No.
Writing the story is about 5% of all the work that needs to be done. And once you realize that, and you realize, hey, if I want to make this a career, I need to make the effort. Once that clicks, you're on your way, and your first
Right.
book may hit like crazy. Your second book may hit like crazy. But it's really, if you look at a lot of authors and really look at their lifespans and their careers, not all of them hit real big on their first book. Sometimes it was their 11th book, but now they're household names. And why? Because, like you said, they didn't give up. They kept writing.
Right. And I think too, it definitely has I mean, you have to love writing to want to keep doing it. I feel like anybody who wants to write for the money, it's never going to work out that way. It's like that. It just makes no sense to put yourself through that and just hope you can get a big profit from it. So I definitely think that people who think they can get a quick cash grab, it's like you're crazy. When you see the amount of time it takes, it's like you're not going to make that kind of cash.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I'm a writer, I'm an editor, and a publishing house owner. And I can tell you, in regard to all three, it is not fast money. It is not easy money. It takes a boatload of very hard work and a heck of a lot of time. If you're chasing a buck, go chase it somewhere else. You can make more faster at a McDonald's. You can make some French fries and make more money faster. Then I didn't want to mention it in this video, but there are those who chase a buck with AI writing. Well, AI gibberish, AI garbage. Ooh, I'm getting more true as I go. I better let it go there. All right, everybody already knows my opinion about AI and the creative arts. It's got its place in our society. I'm sure it'll do great things somewhere else. It doesn't belong in the creative arts. And that's just my belief, and that's the way I'll always believe. Okay, well, we're about to run out of time. I can't tell you what a pleasure it's been to meet you, So awesome. We've worked together for so long, but this is the first time we've seen each other face to face. And I'm not much to look at, but my hat's cool, huh? I
Yeah,
always
well, thank you, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk on your show. I really appreciate it.
this should not be your only show. It can be your first if it is, but you're charming and you're well spoken, and you really need to get out there, let the world know you exist. And not to mention, you're one hell of a great writer. I mean, you really got great, fantastic prose, excellent creativity. You're one of the best that I've encountered, and I've encountered, I think I'm getting close to 100 writers just in the short time I've had my publishing house. Um, and out of 100, you're in the top three. So believe in
All right.
yourself because you're kicking.
That's high praise. Well, that I really appreciate. That's very high praise. Thank you.
Well, one thing that is sometimes a flaw, but not in this case, I'm always absolutely honest. And that's basically because I'm lazy. I don't want to put in all the effort it takes to create a lie and then support that lie with another lie and support that lie with another lie. I'm not going to go through all that. I'm just going to say it like it is. And you're a wonderful writer, and I hope you write bunches more books.
Well, thank you. I hope to. I very much do. I'm working on one right now. I made the mistake of writing it out of order, more or less writing the scenes that came to me, and a year later, I still haven't stitched it in order. So I think I'm like you said, writing it's a process. So you learn as you go, and I think I learned don't write things out of order next time.
Well, I'll tell you what, like all RDG Books Press authors, you have a home with this press as long as you like. So you have a full service editor and a publishing house on standby. We're ready to see what you write. And, if you want to
Thank
go
you.
elsewhere, of course you can. But that invitation is lifelong. As long as I live and as long as the press exists, we'll be here for you. And you just have a random question. Catch me on Twitter, ask me anything. I'll be happy to help.
Thank you. No, that's really good to know. I appreciate that.
Well, to the audience, episode 61 of Relax and Chat with N.B. Clarke, author of, can you guess it? Oh, yeah, Those Who Breathe the Water. One hell of a story. You need to catch it. It's pre-order right now on Amazon, and it's to be released on paperback July 21st. That's coming up pretty soon. So grab your chain purse, grab the quick little price there, and you're going to enjoy that story. Oh, yeah. All right, well, that's it. I'm done chattering. Episode 61 now comes to an end, ladies and gentlemen. I hope I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.